The Burnham family lives in a picture-perfect neighborhood where every lawn is meticulously manicured, and every house looks like it belongs in a magazine spread. This suburban utopia, with its tree-lined streets and white picket fences, masks the deep discontent simmering beneath the surface. The residents of this community strive to uphold the facade of the American dream, but the cracks are beginning to show. Lester Burnham, the patriarch of the family, begins his day like any other. He wakes up in his beautifully decorated, yet impersonal, home, feeling a profound sense of emptiness. Lester's daily routine is a reflection of his life, predictable, monotonous, and devoid of genuine joy. As he stares at his reflection in the bathroom mirror, he contemplates the man he has become, a shadow of his former self, shackled by the expectations of society in his family. Lester's wife, Carolyn, is already up and about, meticulously preparing for another day of real estate showings. Carolyn is the epitome of perfectionism, always striving to present herself and her family in the best possible light. Her obsession with appearances is a defense mechanism, a way to shield herself from the chaos and uncertainty of life. She is determined to maintain the image of success, even if it means ignoring the growing disconnect within her own family. Jane, their teenage daughter, is equally disillusioned. She feels alienated from her parents, who seem more concerned with their own struggles than with her needs and aspirations. Jane is a typical teenager, grappling with insecurities about her appearance and trying to find her place in the world. She longs for genuine connection but feels invisible in a household where everyone is too preoccupied with their own issues to notice her. As the day unfolds, Lester goes through the motions at his soul-crushing job. He works at a media magazine, a position he once found exciting but now dreads. His boss, Brad, is a smug and condescending younger man who takes pleasure in belittling Lester. The workplace is a microcosm of Lester's life, full of empty interactions and superficial relationships. During a company meeting, Lester's mind wanders, and he catches sight of a new employee, an attractive young woman named Angela Hayes. Angela is confident, flirtatious, and embodies everything Lester feels he has lost in his life. She becomes a symbol of unattainable youth and vitality, sparking a desire in Lester that he hasn't felt in years. This infatuation with Angela becomes a catalyst for Lester's transformation, as he begins to question the choices he has made and the life he has settled for. Meanwhile, Carolyn is busy staging a house for an open house event. She meticulously arranges the furniture and decorates the rooms to create an illusion of warmth and comfort. However, her efforts to control her environment only highlight the artificiality of her existence. She is deeply dissatisfied with her marriage and her life, but she is unwilling to acknowledge her own role in creating the unhappiness that pervades her home. As evening approaches, the Burnhams gather for dinner. The meal is a strained affair, filled with awkward silences and forced small talk. Lester, desperate to connect with his family, tries to engage in conversation, but his efforts are met with disinterest and disdain. Carolyn's obsession with maintaining order and control stifles any genuine interaction, while Jane retreats further into her shell. After dinner, Lester retreats to the basement, his sanctuary from the pressures of daily life. He reflects on his life, his dreams, and his regrets. He is haunted by the feeling that he has wasted his potential and wonders if it is too late to reclaim the happiness he once knew. In the quiet of the night, the facade of the perfect suburb begins to crumble. The Burnhams are not the only family struggling to keep up appearances. Behind every closed door, there are stories of unfulfilled dreams, broken relationships, and hidden pain. The illusion of the American dream is just that, an illusion. And as Lester begins to awaken to this reality, he embarks on a journey of self-discovery that will challenge everything he thought he knew about himself and his place in the world. Lester Burnham's life is a series of mundane routines and unfulfilled desires. Each morning, he wakes up to the same alarm clock, the same sterile bedroom, and the same feeling of emptiness. He dresses in a suit that feels more like a prison uniform than professional attire, and he drives to a job that drains the life out of him. At work, Lester's role is largely insignificant. He is part of the advertising department at a media magazine, a position he once found exhilarating but now feels utterly disconnected from. The office environment is sterile and devoid of any real human connection. The walls are lined with motivational posters, but their platitudes feel hollow to Lester. His colleagues are either overly ambitious young professionals or equally disillusioned middle-aged men and women who, like Lester, have resigned themselves to a life of mediocrity. Lester's boss, Brad, is a constant source of irritation. Brad is young, brash, and seemingly oblivious to the struggles of his older employees. He takes pleasure in asserting his authority and often belittles Lester in front of others. These daily humiliations compound Lester's sense of worthlessness and deepen his disillusionment with his career. One afternoon, during a particularly tedious meeting, Lester's attention drifts. He finds himself staring out the window, longing for an escape from the monotony of his life. It's during this moment of daydreaming that he first notices Angela Hayes, a new employee who has recently joined the company. Angela is young, attractive, and full of confidence. She exudes a vitality that Lester finds both captivating and unattainable. For the first time in years, Lester feels a spark of desire and a longing for something more. As the days pass, Lester's infatuation with Angela grows. He begins to fantasize about her, imagining scenarios in which he can reclaim his lost youth and vitality. These fantasies provide a temporary escape from the drudgery of his daily life and ignite a sense of rebellion within him. Lester starts to question the choices he has made and the life he has settled for. He begins to wonder if it's too late to change, to find happiness and fulfillment. At home, the disconnect between Lester and his family is palpable. Carolyn's obsession with maintaining appearances creates a stifling environment where genuine emotions are suppressed. Their conversations are superficial, revolving around mundane topics like household chores and schedules. Jane, feeling alienated and misunderstood, retreats further into her own world. One evening, after a particularly tense dinner, Lester and Carolyn have a heated argument. Carolyn accuses Lester of being lazy and unambitious, while Lester retorts that Carolyn's constant need for control is suffocating their marriage. The argument escalates, and for the first time in years, Lester allows himself to express his frustration and anger. This confrontation marks a turning point for Lester, as he begins to realize that he can no longer continue living a life of quiet desperation. Lester decides to take action. He starts by making small changes in his daily routine. He begins exercising, adopting a healthier diet, and even experimenting with meditation. These changes, though minor, give Lester a sense of control over his life and rekindle a spark of hope. He also starts to stand up to Brad at work, refusing to let himself be belittled any longer. Meanwhile, Carolyn becomes increasingly concerned about the changes in Lester's behavior. She suspects that he is having a midlife crisis and is determined to maintain the facade of their perfect life. Her efforts to control Lester only fuel his desire for freedom and self-discovery. As Lester continues his journey of transformation, he begins to reconnect with the passions and dreams he had long forgotten. He starts writing again, a hobby he abandoned years ago, and finds solace in expressing his thoughts and emotions on paper. This creative outlet provides an escape from the confines of his daily life and allows him to explore the depths of his soul. Lester's growing attraction to Angela also serves as a catalyst for change. While he knows that pursuing a relationship with her is unrealistic and inappropriate, the mere act of acknowledging his desires forces Lester to confront the deeper issues in his life. He realizes that his infatuation with Angela is a symptom of a larger problem, a yearning for authenticity, passion, and a sense of purpose. As Lester begins to reclaim his identity, he also starts to see his family in a new light. He recognizes the pain and struggles that each member of his family is facing and begins to empathize with their experiences. This newfound understanding becomes the foundation for rebuilding the fractured relationships within the Burnham household. In the end, Lester's journey is not just about escaping the monotony of his life but about rediscovering what it means to be truly alive. It is a story of awakening, transformation, and the search for genuine beauty in a world that often values appearances over substance. As Lester learns to embrace his true self, he discovers that the path to happiness lies not in external validation but in the courage to live authentically and fully. Carolyn Burnham is a woman driven by the relentless pursuit of perfection. Every aspect of her life, from her career to her appearance, is meticulously curated to project an image of success and control. As a real estate agent, Carolyn thrives on the challenge of transforming ordinary homes into dream properties that buyers can't resist. Her professional success is a source of pride and validation, but it also comes at a cost. Carolyn's day begins with a carefully planned routine. She wakes up early, exercises, and spends an hour perfecting her makeup and hair. Her wardrobe is filled with designer clothes, each outfit chosen to convey confidence and sophistication. To the outside world, Carolyn appears to have it all together: a successful career, a beautiful home, and a picture-perfect family. However, beneath this polished exterior lies a woman grappling with deep-seated insecurities and a constant fear of failure. Carolyn's obsession with appearances is a defense mechanism, a way to shield herself from the vulnerability and messiness of real life. She equates perfection with worthiness, believing that if she can maintain the illusion of control, she will be loved and respected. Carolyn's relationship with Lester is strained by her need for perfection. She sees Lester's discontent and lack of ambition as a threat to the image she works so hard to maintain. Their conversations are often fraught with tension, as Carolyn's attempts to motivate Lester are perceived by him as criticism and nagging. This dynamic creates a vicious cycle of resentment and disappointment, further eroding the intimacy and connection between them. As the story progresses, Carolyn's quest for perfection becomes increasingly desperate. She takes on more work, hoping that professional success will fill the void in her personal life. She attends self-help seminars and reads books on positive thinking, trying to force herself into a state of perpetual optimism. Despite these efforts, Carolyn can't shake the feeling that something fundamental is missing. Carolyn's interactions with her daughter, Jane, are equally fraught with tension. She wants the best for Jane and believes that pushing her to excel is a form of love. However, Jane perceives her mother's expectations as pressure and control. Jane's rebellion against Carolyn's standards is a source of constant conflict, leaving both mother and daughter feeling misunderstood and unappreciated. One pivotal moment for Carolyn comes during an open house event. She is showing a property to potential buyers and realizes that, despite her best efforts, she cannot control their perceptions or decisions. This moment of vulnerability forces Carolyn to confront the reality that her quest for perfection is both impossible and unsustainable. She begins to question whether the image she has worked so hard to create is worth the emotional toll it has taken on her and her family. As Carolyn grapples with these realizations, she starts to see her own reflection in the lives of her clients. She recognizes that many of them are also struggling to maintain appearances, hiding their true selves behind facades of success and happiness. This empathy leads Carolyn to a breakthrough, the realization that true fulfillment cannot be found in perfection, but in embracing the imperfections that make life real and meaningful. Carolyn's journey of self-discovery is not an easy one. It requires her to confront her deepest fears and insecurities, to let go of the need for control, and to accept herself and her loved ones as they are. As she begins to make these changes, she finds that her relationships with Lester and Jane start to improve. The walls of resentment and misunderstanding begin to crumble, allowing space for genuine connection and intimacy. By the end of the story, Carolyn's transformation is evident. She no longer sees perfection as the ultimate goal but rather as an illusion that has kept her from experiencing the richness of life. She learns to appreciate the beauty in imperfection and to find joy in the moments of vulnerability and authenticity. Carolyn's journey mirrors that of Lester's, as both characters learn that true happiness lies not in maintaining appearances but in embracing the complexities and imperfections of their lives. Angela Hayes is a young woman who exudes confidence and allure, captivating those around her with her beauty and charisma. She is the epitome of youthful vitality, and her presence serves as a stark contrast to the mundane lives of the Burnham family. Angela's character is both a catalyst and a symbol, representing the unattainable ideal that Lester yearns for and the pressures of perfection that Carolyn imposes on herself and Jane. Angela is introduced in the story through Lester's eyes. During a mundane company meeting, Lester's attention is drawn to Angela, and he is instantly captivated by her. She becomes an object of his fantasies, a symbol of the life and excitement he feels he has lost. Angela's confidence and flirtatious nature make her seem like a beacon of possibility, sparking a desire in Lester that has long been dormant. Despite her outward confidence, Angela is a complex character with her own insecurities and struggles. She is acutely aware of the power her beauty gives her, but she also understands that it comes with its own set of challenges and expectations. Angela's flirtatious behavior is partly a defense mechanism, a way to assert control in a world that often objectifies her. She is both aware of and frustrated by the superficial attention she receives, longing for someone to see and appreciate her for who she truly is. As Angela becomes more involved with the Burnham family, her interactions reveal different facets of her character. With Jane, Angela presents herself as a confident and experienced friend, someone Jane can look up to and confide in. Their friendship is a blend of genuine connection and rivalry, as Angela's presence exacerbates Jane's insecurities and feelings of inadequacy. Jane is both fascinated and intimidated by Angela, struggling to reconcile her admiration with her own self-doubt. Angela's relationship with Lester is more complex. Lester's infatuation with her is initially driven by his desire to reclaim his lost youth and vitality. Angela represents the excitement and freedom that Lester feels are missing from his life. However, as Lester's fantasies about Angela intensify, he begins to project his own desires and aspirations onto her, seeing her not as a person but as a symbol of his own unmet needs. Despite the inappropriate nature of Lester's infatuation, Angela is not entirely oblivious to his attention. She senses the power she holds over him and occasionally indulges in flirtatious behavior, enjoying the thrill of being desired. However, Angela's own vulnerabilities and longing for genuine connection make her interactions with Lester more complex than mere manipulation. She is searching for validation and understanding, just as much as Lester is seeking an escape from his own dissatisfaction. A pivotal moment in Angela's character development occurs during a conversation with Jane. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Angela confesses her own fears and insecurities, revealing that she is not as confident as she appears. She admits that her flirtatious behavior and bravado are often a front, masking her own doubts and struggles. This moment of honesty deepens the connection between Angela and Jane, highlighting the shared experiences and pressures they both face as young women navigating a world obsessed with appearances. Angela's interactions with Carolyn add another layer to her character. Carolyn initially views Angela as a threat, sensing the impact she has on Lester and Jane. However, as Carolyn's own journey of self-discovery unfolds, she begins to see Angela in a different light. Carolyn recognizes in Angela a reflection of her own younger self, full of potential but also burdened by societal expectations. This realization fosters a sense of empathy and understanding between the two women, bridging the gap between their seemingly disparate worlds. In the climax of the story, Angela's presence catalyzes a series of events that lead to the ultimate confrontation and resolution. Her interactions with Lester, Jane, and Carolyn force each of them to confront their own desires, insecurities, and fears. Angela's allure and complexity challenge the characters to look beyond the surface and seek deeper, more authentic connections. By the end of the story, Angela's character serves as a mirror reflecting the struggles and transformations of the Burnham family. Her journey, like that of Lester, Carolyn, and Jane, is one of self-discovery and acceptance. Angela learns to navigate the complexities of her identity and to seek validation not from external admiration but from a deeper understanding of herself. Jane Burnham, the teenage daughter of Lester and Carolyn, is a young woman caught in the throes of adolescence, grappling with the pressures of conformity and the quest for self-identity. Her life at home is a battleground of unspoken tensions and unmet expectations, pushing her to seek solace and understanding outside the confines of her family. Jane feels invisible in her own home, overshadowed by her mother's obsession with perfection and her father's growing detachment. Carolyn's constant critique of Jane's appearance and behavior leaves her feeling inadequate and misunderstood. In response, Jane adopts a rebellious persona, distancing herself from her parents and rejecting the superficial values they uphold. At school, Jane is not part of the popular crowd. She struggles with feelings of insecurity about her looks and her place in the social hierarchy. Her best friend, Angela Hayes, represents everything Jane feels she lacks: confidence, beauty, and attention. Despite their friendship, Jane harbors a mix of admiration and jealousy towards Angela, exacerbating her feelings of inadequacy. Jane's rebellion manifests in her choice of friends and her pursuit of unconventional interests. She gravitates towards Ricky Fitz, the enigmatic boy next door who shares her disillusionment with suburban life. Ricky's passion for filming everyday moments and finding beauty in the mundane resonates with Jane's own desire for authenticity and depth. Ricky introduces Jane to his world through the lens of his video camera. His ability to see beauty in the overlooked and ordinary opens Jane's eyes to a different perspective on life. Ricky's own troubled past and complex relationship with his authoritarian father, Colonel Fitz, further deepen Jane's understanding of the struggles that lie beneath the surface of seemingly perfect lives. As Jane and Ricky's friendship blossoms into a romantic relationship, Jane begins to find a sense of belonging and acceptance she has never felt before. Ricky sees and appreciates Jane for who she truly is, without the judgments and expectations imposed by her family. Their relationship becomes a sanctuary from the pressures and superficiality of suburban life. Jane's transformation is not without conflict. Her growing bond with Ricky exacerbates the tensions at home, particularly with her mother, Carolyn, who disapproves of Ricky's influence. Carolyn's attempts to control Jane's behavior only push her further away, deepening the rift between them. Jane's relationship with her father, Lester, is also strained as she struggles to reconcile her love for him with her disappointment in his passive acceptance of their dysfunctional family life. A turning point in Jane's journey comes when she decides to confront her parents about their failing marriage and the impact it has had on her. In a raw and emotional confrontation, Jane expresses her anger and hurt, forcing Lester and Carolyn to face the reality of their broken relationship. This moment of honesty and vulnerability marks a significant step in Jane's rebellion, as she asserts her need for genuine connection and understanding. Jane's rebellion is not just against her parents but also against the societal expectations that dictate her life. She rejects the superficial standards of beauty and success, seeking instead to define her own identity and values. Her relationship with Ricky helps her navigate this journey, providing her with a sense of purpose and direction. As Jane's relationship with Ricky deepens, they make plans to leave their suburban prison and start a new life together. Their dreams of escape symbolize their desire for freedom and authenticity, a stark contrast to the artificiality and conformity of their current lives. However, their plans are threatened by the unpredictable and volatile nature of their circumstances, leading to a climactic series of events that challenge their resolve. In the end, Jane's journey of rebellion and self-discovery is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Despite the challenges and obstacles she faces, Jane emerges stronger and more self-assured. Her rebellion is not just an act of defiance but a quest for truth and authenticity in a world that often values appearances over substance. Jane's story, intertwined with the struggles and transformations of her family, underscores the central theme of American beauty, the search for genuine beauty and meaning in a world obsessed with perfection. Through her rebellion, Jane learns to embrace her true self and to find beauty in the imperfections that make life real and meaningful. Ricky Fitz is an enigmatic and pivotal character in American Beauty, serving as both a mirror and a catalyst for the transformations within the Burnham family. As the boy next door, Ricky's presence challenges the superficial values of the suburban community and offers an alternative perspective on life and beauty. Ricky's life is defined by a stark contrast between the outward appearance of his family's home and the reality within. His father, Colonel Frank Fitz, is a strict and authoritarian figure who demands discipline and conformity. Colonel Fitz's obsession with order and control creates a suffocating environment, leading to a strained and often hostile relationship with Ricky. Despite the oppressive atmosphere at home, Ricky has developed a unique way of coping and finding meaning in his life. He is a keen observer of the world around him, using his video camera to capture moments of beauty in the mundane and overlooked. Ricky's passion for filming is not just a hobby but a form of artistic expression and a means of asserting his individuality. Ricky's relationship with his father is complicated by the Colonel's suspicion and paranoia. Colonel Fitz is obsessed with maintaining a facade of respectability and is deeply concerned with appearances. This obsession often manifests in aggressive and abusive behavior towards Ricky, who he perceives as a threat to the family's image. Ricky's resilience in the face of his father's tyranny is a testament to his strength and determination to live authentically. Ricky's fascination with capturing beauty on film leads him to form a deep connection with Jane Burnham. He sees in Jane a kindred spirit, someone who is also struggling to find her place in a world that often feels superficial and unfulfilling. Through his lens, Ricky helps Jane see herself in a new light, allowing her to recognize and appreciate her own unique beauty and worth. Their relationship is built on a foundation of mutual understanding and shared disillusionment with the world around them. Ricky's honesty and openness provide Jane with a sense of validation and acceptance that she has never experienced before. Their bond is both a refuge from the pressures of their respective families and a catalyst for their individual growth and self-discovery. Ricky's character is further developed through his interactions with other members of the Burnham family. His friendship with Lester is particularly significant, as it sparks a transformation in Lester's outlook on life. Ricky's fearless approach to living authentically and his ability to find beauty in unexpected places inspire Lester to break free from his own constraints and rediscover his passions. In one pivotal scene, Ricky shows Lester a video of a plastic bag dancing in the wind, describing it as the most beautiful thing he has ever filmed. This moment encapsulates Ricky's philosophy of finding beauty in the ordinary and serves as a powerful metaphor for the film's central themes. Ricky's perspective challenges Lester to look beyond the surface and to appreciate the deeper, often hidden, beauty in life. Ricky's relationship with Angela Hayes also reveals important aspects of his character. While Angela initially sees Ricky as strange and mysterious, she is gradually drawn to his authenticity and depth. Their interactions highlight the contrast between Angela's external confidence and her internal insecurities, as well as Ricky's ability to see and appreciate her true self. The tension between Ricky and his father reaches a climax when Colonel Fitz discovers Ricky's stash of videotapes, mistakenly believing them to contain evidence of illicit activities. This confrontation exposes the Colonel's own hidden fears and insecurities, leading to a violent outburst that ultimately drives Ricky to make a definitive break from his oppressive home environment. Ricky's decision to leave home and pursue a new life with Jane symbolizes his commitment to living authentically and breaking free from the constraints of his past. Their plan to escape represents a quest for freedom and self-discovery, a stark contrast to the stifling conformity of their suburban surroundings. In the end, Ricky's journey is a testament to the power of resilience and the pursuit of genuine beauty and meaning in life. His character serves as a beacon of hope and inspiration for the Burnham family, challenging them to look beyond appearances and to embrace the complexities and imperfections that make life truly beautiful. Ricky's story, intertwined with the lives of Lester, Carolyn, and Jane, underscores the central theme of American beauty, the search for authenticity and the recognition of beauty in the everyday moments that often go unnoticed. Through his lens, Ricky captures not just images, but the essence of what it means to be truly alive. Colonel Frank Fitz, Ricky's father, is a man whose life is dictated by rigid discipline and a fierce adherence to societal norms. His military background has ingrained in him a belief in order, control, and the importance of appearances. Beneath his stern exterior, however, lies a deeply conflicted and tormented individual, struggling with his own insecurities and fears. Colonel Fitz's authoritarian approach to parenting and his obsessive need for control create a tense and oppressive atmosphere in the Fitz household. He imposes strict rules and expectations on Ricky, expecting him to conform to his rigid standards. Any deviation from these expectations is met with harsh criticism and, at times, physical punishment. This dynamic fosters a sense of fear and resentment in Ricky, driving him to seek solace in his own world of filming and observation. The Colonel's relationship with his wife, Barbara, is similarly strained. Barbara is a quiet, submissive woman who has learned to navigate her husband's volatile temper by withdrawing into herself. Her passivity and silence serve as a stark contrast to the Colonel's domineering presence, highlighting the imbalance of power in their relationship. The lack of genuine communication and emotional connection between them further isolates the Colonel, deepening his sense of loneliness and frustration. Colonel Fitz's obsession with maintaining appearances is driven by his deep-seated fear of vulnerability and exposure. He equates any display of emotion or deviation from societal norms with weakness, projecting his insecurities onto those around him. This fear of vulnerability is compounded by his internal struggle with his own identity and desires, which he represses in an effort to conform to the hypermasculine ideals he has embraced. A pivotal moment in the Colonel's storyline occurs when he misinterprets a conversation between Ricky and Lester, believing that they are involved in a sexual relationship. This revelation triggers a crisis for the Colonel, forcing him to confront his own latent homosexual desires that he has long suppressed. His reaction is one of rage and denial, as he directs his internal conflict outward in a violent confrontation with Ricky. The Colonel's aggressive response to his own insecurities reveals the depth of his internal turmoil. His inability to reconcile his true self with the persona he has constructed leads to a breakdown in his relationships and a further entrenchment in his isolation. The Colonel's journey is marked by a profound sense of tragedy, as his fear of vulnerability and need for control ultimately destroy the connections that could have brought him solace and understanding. In a climactic and emotionally charged scene, Colonel Fitz confronts Lester in his garage. Overcome by his internal conflict and desperation for validation, the Colonel attempts to initiate a physical relationship with Lester. Lester's gentle rejection and understanding response expose the Colonel's vulnerability, leaving him humiliated and devastated. This moment of raw honesty and rejection serves as a catalyst for the Colonel's ultimate downfall. Colonel Fitt's storyline reaches its tragic conclusion when he, unable to cope with the exposure of his true self and the collapse of his carefully constructed facade, commits an act of violence that irrevocably alters the lives of those around him. His actions are driven by a desperate need to regain control and to eliminate the perceived threat to his identity and reputation. The Colonel's story is a powerful exploration of the destructive impact of repression and the toxic nature of rigid adherence to societal expectations. His character serves as a stark contrast to the journeys of Lester, Carolyn, Jane, and Ricky, highlighting the devastating consequences of failing to embrace authenticity and vulnerability. In the end, Colonel Fitt's tragic fate underscores the central theme of American beauty, the search for true beauty and meaning in a world that often values appearances over substance. His struggle with his own identity and his inability to break free from the constraints of societal norms serve as a poignant reminder of the importance of embracing one's true self and the power of genuine human connection. Barbara Fitz, the wife of Colonel Frank Fitz and mother of Ricky, is a character whose silence and passivity conceal a world of pain and resilience. Her life is defined by her husband's authoritarian rule and the oppressive atmosphere of their home. Barbara's journey is one of quiet endurance and the struggle to find her voice in a world that has rendered her invisible. Barbara's marriage to Colonel Fitz is marked by a stark power imbalance. Her husband's rigid control and aggressive behavior leave little room for her to express her own thoughts and feelings. Over the years, Barbara has learned to navigate this dynamic by withdrawing into herself, adopting a passive role to avoid conflict. This coping mechanism, while protecting her from immediate harm, also isolates her and suppresses her true self. Barbara's interactions with Ricky reveal glimpses of the loving and nurturing mother she longs to be. She recognizes Ricky's struggles and his need for validation and support, but her ability to provide this is hindered by her own fear and resignation. Despite this, there are moments of genuine connection between mother and son, where Barbara's love and concern for Ricky shine through her silence. The relationship between Barbara and her husband is a complex web of dependence and fear. Colonel Fitt's need for control extends to every aspect of their life, leaving Barbara with little autonomy. Her passive demeanor is both a survival strategy and a manifestation of her deep-seated belief that her own needs and desires are secondary to maintaining peace and order in the household. Barbara's character is further developed through her interactions with the Burnham family. She observes the dysfunction in the Burnham household with a sense of empathy and recognition, seeing reflections of her own struggles in Carolyn's quest for perfection and Jane's rebellion. These observations stir something within Barbara, prompting her to question the life she has resigned herself to. A significant turning point for Barbara occurs during a rare moment of confrontation with Colonel Fitz. In a scene charged with tension, Barbara musters the courage to voice her own needs and frustrations. Her husband's dismissive and aggressive response reinforces her feelings of powerlessness, but the act of speaking out marks a crucial step in Barbara's journey towards reclaiming her voice. Barbara's relationship with Ricky becomes a focal point of her character development. As she witnesses Ricky's growing bond with Jane and his attempts to break free from the constraints of their oppressive home, Barbara begins to find her own sense of strength and resolve. Ricky's resilience and determination inspire Barbara to reconsider her own role in the family dynamic and to seek ways to assert her own identity. The climax of Barbara's storyline is intertwined with the tragic events that unfold in the Fitz household. As the tensions between Colonel Fitz and Ricky reach a breaking point, Barbara is forced to confront the reality of her situation and the impact of her silence. The culmination of these events leads to a moment of profound realization for Barbara, where she understands the need to break free from the cycle of repression and control. In the aftermath of the tragic confrontation, Barbara emerges as a character transformed by her experiences. While the path to healing and self-discovery is fraught with challenges, Barbara's journey is one of resilience and hope. She begins to take steps towards asserting her own identity and finding her voice, seeking support and connection outside the confines of her oppressive home. Barbara's story is a poignant exploration of the impact of silence and passivity on the human spirit. Her journey towards reclaiming her voice and asserting her identity mirrors the broader themes of American beauty, the quest for authenticity, the recognition of beauty in the mundane, and the importance of genuine human connection. In the end, Barbara's character serves as a testament to the power of resilience and the human capacity for transformation. Her story underscores the importance of breaking free from the constraints of societal expectations and finding the courage to embrace one's true self. Through her quiet strength and determination, Barbara exemplifies the enduring human spirit and the search for beauty and meaning in the face of adversity. As the narrative of American Beauty progresses, the lives of the Burnham and Fitz families intersect in ways that lead to a dramatic and transformative turning point. This chapter delves into the pivotal events that bring the characters' hidden struggles and desires to the forefront, setting the stage for the story's climax and resolution. Lester Burnham's transformation has been building steadily. His newfound sense of purpose and self-worth, sparked by his infatuation with Angela Hayes and his friendship with Ricky Fitz, reaches a critical juncture. Lester's decision to quit his mundane job and pursue a more authentic and fulfilling life signifies his commitment to reclaiming his identity. He begins to focus on his physical fitness, reconnect with his passions, and assert his independence. However, Lester's journey is not without its challenges. His behavior creates tension with Carolyn, whose own quest for perfection and control is threatened by Lester's rebellion. Carolyn's increasing desperation to maintain her carefully curated facade leads to further conflict, as she struggles to reconcile her desire for success with the crumbling state of her personal life. Carolyn's turning point comes when she realizes that her relentless pursuit of perfection has alienated her from her family and left her feeling unfulfilled. During an emotional breakdown, Carolyn confronts the emptiness behind her seemingly successful life. This moment of vulnerability forces her to acknowledge the superficiality of her goals and the need to reconnect with her true self and her loved ones. Jane Burnham's relationship with Ricky continues to deepen, providing her with a sense of belonging and acceptance. However, the pressures of their respective family dynamics and the looming threat of Colonel Fitz's authoritarian rule cast a shadow over their plans to escape. Jane's internal struggle between her desire for freedom and her loyalty to her family reaches a critical point, compelling her to make difficult choices about her future. Ricky Fitz's determination to break free from his father's control is tested when Colonel Fitz discovers his video recordings and misinterprets their content. The Colonel's violent reaction forces Ricky to confront the reality of his situation and to take decisive action to protect himself and those he cares about. This confrontation serves as a catalyst for Ricky's ultimate decision to leave home and pursue a new life with Jane. Colonel Frank Fitt's storyline culminates in a dramatic and tragic climax. His internal conflict and fear of vulnerability drive him to desperate measures, leading to a violent confrontation with Lester Burnham. The Colonel's inability to reconcile his true self with the rigid persona he has constructed results in a moment of devastating clarity, where he is forced to face the consequences of his actions and the reality of his repressed desires. The turning point for Barbara Fitz comes in the aftermath of the violent confrontation between Colonel Fitz and Lester. Barbara's realization of the extent of her husband's control and the impact of her silence compels her to take steps towards reclaiming her own identity. She begins to seek support and connection, determined to break free from the oppressive environment that has defined her life. The climax of American Beauty is marked by a series of interconnected events that bring the characters' hidden struggles and desires to the surface. Lester's confrontation with Colonel Fitz, Carolyn's emotional breakdown, Jane and Ricky's plan to escape, and Barbara's decision to find her voice all converge in a powerful and transformative moment. The turning point serves as a catalyst for the characters' ultimate transformations, setting the stage for the resolution of their individual journeys. The events that unfold highlight the central themes of the story: the search for authenticity, the recognition of beauty in the everyday, and the importance of genuine human connection. In the aftermath of the turning point, the characters are left to navigate the consequences of their actions and to find a path towards healing and self-discovery. The resolution of American Beauty is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring quest for meaning and beauty in a world often dominated by superficiality and conformity. The climax of American Beauty is a crescendo of emotion, conflict, and revelation, where the intertwined lives of the Burnham and Fitz families reach a dramatic and transformative peak. The events that unfold in this chapter bring to light the hidden truths and deep-seated desires of the characters, culminating in a series of confrontations that forever alter their lives. The tension between Lester Burnham and Colonel Frank Fitz comes to a head in a fateful confrontation. Colonel Fitz, driven by his repressed desires and fear of exposure, misinterprets Lester's friendship with Ricky and confronts him in the garage. In a moment of raw vulnerability, Colonel Fitz attempts to initiate a physical relationship with Lester, revealing his own internal struggle with his identity. Lester's gentle rejection of the Colonel's advances is both compassionate and firm. This interaction forces Colonel Fitz to confront the reality of his desires and the facade he has maintained for so long. The Colonel's reaction is one of shame, anger, and desperation, leading him to lash out in a tragic and violent manner. Simultaneously, Carolyn Burnham's emotional breakdown reaches its peak as she grapples with the realization of the emptiness behind her pursuit of perfection. Her confrontation with Lester is charged with emotion as she expresses her frustration and sense of betrayal. This raw and honest exchange forces both Carolyn and Lester to confront the state of their marriage and the impact of their actions on their family. Jane Burnham and Ricky Fitz's plan to escape their oppressive environments faces significant obstacles. As the events between their families unfold, Jane is torn between her desire for freedom and her concern for her parents. Ricky's determination to break free from his father's control is strengthened by the escalating violence and tension in the Fitz household. The climax of the story is marked by a series of revelations that expose the characters' hidden truths. Colonel Fitz's confrontation with Lester leads to a tragic act of violence, resulting in Lester's untimely death. This shocking event serves as a catalyst for the characters' ultimate transformations, forcing them to confront the consequences of their actions and the reality of their lives. Barbara Fitz's reaction to the violence and chaos in her home is one of profound realization. The facade of her passive and submissive demeanor is shattered as she grapples with the impact of her silence and the need to reclaim her own identity. Barbara's decision to seek help and to assert her voice marks a significant step in her journey towards healing and self-discovery. The climax of American Beauty is a powerful exploration of the destructive impact of repression, the quest for authenticity, and the search for genuine connection. The events that unfold bring the characters' hidden struggles and desires to the surface, forcing them to confront the realities of their lives and the consequences of their actions. In the aftermath of the climax, the characters are left to navigate the fallout and to find a path towards healing and redemption. Lester's death serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of embracing one's true self. The resolution of the story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring quest for meaning and beauty in a world often dominated by superficiality and conformity. In the wake of the dramatic climax, the characters of American Beauty are left to navigate the aftermath of the tragic events that have forever altered their lives. This chapter delves into the process of healing and redemption, as the Burnham and Fitz families come to terms with their losses and seek to rebuild their lives. The death of Lester Burnham serves as a catalyst for profound change within his family. Carolyn, grappling with the guilt and grief of losing her husband, begins a journey of self-reflection and healing. Her initial reaction is one of deep sorrow and regret, as she confronts the superficiality of her past pursuits and the impact of her actions on her family. Carolyn's path to redemption is marked by her efforts to reconnect with her daughter, Jane. In the midst of their shared grief, Carolyn reaches out to Jane with a newfound sense of vulnerability and sincerity. This emotional reconciliation allows them to bridge the gap that had grown between them, fostering a renewed sense of understanding and connection. Jane Burnham's journey towards healing is intertwined with her relationship with Ricky Fitz. The traumatic events surrounding her father's death and the violence in the Fitz household challenge Jane to confront her own fears and insecurities. Ricky's unwavering support and love provide her with a sense of stability and hope, as they both navigate the complexities of their emotions and plans for the future. Ricky Fitz's determination to break free from his father's control is strengthened by the events that have unfolded. The violence and turmoil in his home serve as a stark reminder of the importance of living authentically and embracing one's true self. Ricky's relationship with Jane becomes a source of strength and inspiration, as they both seek to create a new life together, free from the constraints of their pasts. Barbara Fitz's transformation in the aftermath of the tragedy is marked by her decision to seek help and assert her own voice. The realization of the impact of her silence and passivity propels her towards a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Barbara's efforts to rebuild her life and to support Ricky in his quest for freedom highlight her resilience and determination to break free from the cycle of repression. Colonel Frank Fitz's fate serves as a poignant reminder of the destructive impact of repression and the importance of confronting one's true self. The consequences of his actions and the tragedy that ensues underscore the central themes of the story: the search for authenticity, the recognition of beauty in the everyday, and the importance of genuine human connection. The resolution of American Beauty is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring quest for meaning and beauty in a world often dominated by superficiality and conformity. The characters' journeys towards healing and redemption highlight the transformative power of vulnerability, honesty, and connection. As the Burnham and Fitz families navigate the aftermath of the tragic events, they are reminded of the importance of embracing their true selves and finding beauty in the imperfections of life. The story of American Beauty serves as a powerful exploration of the complexities of human existence and the enduring quest for authenticity and meaning. In the resolution of American Beauty, the characters embark on a quest for authenticity, seeking to reconcile their true selves with the superficial expectations of their society. This chapter explores the transformative journeys of the Burnham and Fitz families as they strive to embrace their identities and find genuine meaning in their lives. Carolyn Burnham's journey towards authenticity is marked by her efforts to break free from the constraints of her perfectionist tendencies. The loss of Lester serves as a wake-up call, prompting Carolyn to reevaluate her priorities and to seek a more meaningful and fulfilling life. She begins to focus on her own passions and interests, allowing herself to be vulnerable and open to new experiences. One of the significant steps in Carolyn's journey is her decision to downsize and simplify her life. She sells the meticulously maintained house that once symbolized her pursuit of perfection and moves into a more modest and personal space. This change allows Carolyn to shed the superficial trappings of her past and to focus on what truly matters: her relationship with Jane and her own sense of purpose. Jane Burnham's quest for authenticity is intertwined with her relationship with Ricky Fitz. Their bond, built on mutual understanding and acceptance, provides Jane with the strength and courage to embrace her true self. Jane's decision to pursue her own interests and passions, free from the constraints of societal expectations, marks a significant step in her journey towards self-discovery. Ricky Fitz's journey is one of resilience and determination. The events surrounding his father's violent outburst and the aftermath of Lester's death reinforce Ricky's commitment to living authentically. He continues to pursue his passion for filmmaking, using his camera to capture the beauty and complexity of the world around him. Ricky's relationship with Jane becomes a source of inspiration and support, as they both navigate the challenges of their quest for authenticity. Barbara Fitz's transformation is marked by her efforts to reclaim her voice and assert her identity. The realization of the impact of her silence and passivity compels Barbara to seek help and to connect with others who understand her struggles. She begins to explore her own interests and passions, finding solace and empowerment in her journey of self-discovery. The resolution of Colonel Frank Fitz's storyline is a poignant reminder of the consequences of failing to embrace one's true self. The Colonel's inability to reconcile his identity with the rigid persona he has constructed leads to a tragic and violent outcome. His story serves as a cautionary tale, highlighting the importance of authenticity and the destructive impact of repression. The quest for authenticity in American Beauty is a powerful exploration of the complexities of human existence and the enduring search for meaning and beauty. The characters' journeys towards embracing their true selves and finding genuine connection underscore the central themes of the story. In the end, American Beauty serves as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the transformative power of vulnerability and honesty. The characters' quests for authenticity and meaning highlight the importance of embracing one's true self and finding beauty in the imperfections of life. the resolution of the story leaves the Burnham and Fitz families on a path towards healing and self-discovery. Their journeys serve as a reminder of the enduring quest for authenticity and the importance of finding genuine connection in a world often dominated by superficiality and conformity. As the characters of American Beauty continue their journeys towards authenticity and healing, they come to understand the importance of embracing imperfection. This chapter delves into the transformative power of accepting and celebrating the flaws and complexities that make us human. Carolyn Burnham's journey towards embracing imperfection is marked by her efforts to let go of her perfectionist tendencies and to find beauty in the everyday moments of life. She begins to appreciate the simple joys and connections that she once overlooked in her pursuit of success and control. Carolyn's relationship with Jane becomes a source of strength and inspiration, as they both learn to accept and support each other in their imperfections. Jane Burnham's transformation is highlighted by her growing sense of self-acceptance and confidence. Through her relationship with Ricky Fitz, Jane learns to embrace her unique qualities and to reject the societal pressures that once dictated her self-worth. Her journey towards self-discovery is marked by a newfound appreciation for the beauty and complexity of life, as she learns to navigate the challenges and imperfections of her own path. Ricky Fitz's journey towards embracing imperfection is reflected in his passion for filmmaking. Through his lens, Ricky captures the raw and unfiltered moments of life, finding beauty in the mundane and the imperfect. His relationship with Jane provides him with a sense of stability and purpose, as they both seek to create a life that is true to their values and aspirations. Barbara Fitz's transformation is marked by her efforts to reclaim her identity and to assert her voice. The realization of the impact of her silence and passivity compels Barbara to seek help and to connect with others who understand her struggles. She begins to explore her own interests and passions, finding solace and empowerment in her journey of self-discovery. The resolution of Colonel Frank Fitz's storyline serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of failing to embrace one's true self. The Colonel's inability to reconcile his identity with the rigid persona he has constructed leads to a tragic and violent outcome. His story underscores the importance of authenticity and the destructive impact of repression. The journey towards embracing imperfection in American Beauty is a powerful exploration of the complexities of human existence and the enduring search for meaning and beauty. The characters' journeys towards self-acceptance and genuine connection highlight the central themes of the story. In the end, American Beauty serves as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the transformative power of vulnerability and honesty. The characters' quests for authenticity and meaning highlight the importance of embracing one's true self and finding beauty in the imperfections of life. The resolution of the story leaves the Burnham and Fitz families on a path towards healing and self-discovery. Their journeys serve as a reminder of the enduring quest for authenticity and the importance of finding genuine connection in a world often dominated by superficiality and conformity. In the resolution of American Beauty, the characters embark on a journey of rediscovering connection, both with themselves and with each other. This chapter explores the transformative power of genuine relationships and the importance of finding meaningful connections in a world often dominated by superficiality. Carolyn Burnham's journey towards rediscovering connection is marked by her efforts to rebuild her relationship with Jane. Through open and honest communication, Carolyn begins to bridge the gap that had grown between them, fostering a renewed sense of understanding and support. This emotional reconciliation allows Carolyn to appreciate the depth and complexity of her daughter, and to find joy in their shared moments of vulnerability and connection. Jane Burnham's transformation is highlighted by her deepening bond with Ricky Fitz. Their relationship, built on mutual understanding and acceptance, provides Jane with a sense of stability and hope. As they both navigate the challenges of their pasts and the uncertainties of their future, Jane and Ricky find strength and inspiration in their connection, learning to embrace their true selves and to support each other in their journeys towards self-discovery. Ricky Fitz's journey towards rediscovering connection is reflected in his passion for filmmaking and his relationship with Jane. Through his lens, Ricky captures the raw and unfiltered moments of life, finding beauty in the mundane and the imperfect. His bond with Jane becomes a source of inspiration and purpose, as they both seek to create a life that is true to their values and aspirations. Barbara Fitz's transformation is marked by her efforts to reclaim her identity and to assert her voice. The realization of the impact of her silence and passivity compels Barbara to seek help and to connect with others who understand her struggles. She begins to explore her own interests and passions, finding solace and empowerment in her journey of self-discovery. The resolution of Colonel Frank Fitz's storyline serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of failing to embrace one's true self. The Colonel's inability to reconcile his identity with the rigid persona he has constructed leads to a tragic and violent outcome. His story underscores the importance of authenticity and the destructive impact of repression. The journey towards rediscovering connection in American Beauty is a powerful exploration of the complexities of human existence and the enduring search for meaning and beauty. The characters' journeys towards self-acceptance and genuine connection highlight the central themes of the story. In the end, American Beauty serves as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the transformative power of vulnerability and honesty. The characters' quests for authenticity and meaning highlight the importance of embracing one's true self and finding beauty in the imperfections of life. The resolution of the story leaves the Burnham and Fitz families on a path towards healing and self-discovery. Their journeys serve as a reminder of the enduring quest for authenticity and the importance of finding genuine connection in a world often dominated by superficiality and conformity. As the story of American Beauty draws to a close, the characters come to understand and appreciate the beauty of the everyday moments that define their lives. This chapter explores the transformative power of finding meaning and beauty in the mundane and the imperfect. Carolyn Burnham's journey towards appreciating the beauty of the everyday is marked by her efforts to embrace vulnerability and to find joy in the simple moments of life. Her relationship with Jane becomes a source of strength and inspiration, as they both learn to appreciate the depth and complexity of their shared experiences. Carolyn's transformation is highlighted by her newfound ability to find beauty in the imperfections of life, and to celebrate the moments of genuine connection with her daughter. Jane Burnham's transformation is reflected in her deepening bond with Ricky Fitz and her growing sense of self-acceptance. Through their relationship, Jane learns to appreciate the beauty and complexity of life, finding meaning in the everyday moments of vulnerability and connection. Jane's journey towards self-discovery is marked by her ability to embrace her unique qualities and to reject the societal pressures that once dictated her self-worth. Ricky Fitz's journey towards appreciating the beauty of the everyday is reflected in his passion for filmmaking. Through his lens, Ricky captures the raw and unfiltered moments of life, finding beauty in the mundane and the imperfect. His relationship with Jane becomes a source of inspiration and purpose, as they both seek to create a life that is true to their values and aspirations. Barbara Fitt's transformation is marked by her efforts to reclaim her identity and to assert her voice. The realization of the impact of her silence and passivity compels Barbara to seek help and to connect with others who understand her struggles. She begins to explore her own interests and passions, finding solace and empowerment in her journey of self-discovery. The resolution of Colonel Frank Fitt's storyline serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of failing to embrace one's true self. The Colonel's inability to reconcile his identity with the rigid persona he has constructed leads to a tragic and violent outcome. His story underscores the importance of authenticity and the destructive impact of repression. The journey towards appreciating the beauty of the everyday in American Beauty is a powerful exploration of the complexities of human existence and the enduring search for meaning and beauty. The characters' journeys towards self-acceptance and genuine connection highlight the central themes of the story. In the end, American Beauty serves as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the transformative power of vulnerability and honesty. The characters' quests for authenticity and meaning highlight the importance of embracing one's true self and finding beauty in the imperfections of life. The resolution of the story leaves the Burnham and Fitz families on a path towards healing and self-discovery. Their journeys serve as a reminder of the enduring quest for authenticity and the importance of finding genuine connection in a world often dominated by superficiality and conformity. The final moments of American Beauty leave the audience with a profound sense of the beauty and complexity of life. The characters' journeys towards self-acceptance and genuine connection highlight the transformative power of embracing one's true self and finding meaning in the everyday moments that define our lives.